Greg Calcaterra as
Uh, both doing well. We're going to reevaluate Calcaterra here through the week, but no update on him. Delarion's doing well. I mean, we're not at the point where we have to make any decisions, but he's progressing well.
You've been through this in 15, 17, and 18 with the midseason loss and the bounce back. Are you seeing some of the same things you saw those years through these 15 matches?
Yeah, we've had a good start to the week. I mean, I think our team knows what we're capable of, and so there's a lot of belief and confidence in the room, but also a harsh sense of reality that we've got to go play that way too. Having the ability to do it's one thing, and we've done it the majority of the year, and so there's definitely a lot of things that we got to continue to improve on. Having a healthy respect for what it takes to win, any game, especially on the road, and a healthy respect for what it takes just for us to play our best ball. It's hard. I mean, the margins are slim when you win. A lot of times you make a lot of those plays by that much, and then when you don't win, in case in point, the other day was probably, we didn't have many losses here, but I would say this one was, we probably had more difference-making plays in the game that we didn't make. I mean, there's one of, you say that every time that you don't win, but this one has more than I can remember of. We make one more on any other side and so many golden opportunities to do it, and to not make it. You got to learn from it, and it's got to be something that galvanizes the team. It's done it in the past. We know the blueprint. We know exactly what it takes to do it, but we got to put that in action with this team, and this team's got to take it forward. We've gotten off to a good start this week with that.
Lincoln, did you have it in your mind if you'd have got the onside kick and scored? Did you know if you were going to go for one or two?
Yeah, I had a pretty good idea. Don't know that strategy-wise, I won't say what, but we had a pretty decent plan. I mean, there was two kind of good trains of thought there. I mean, I felt good about us getting a 2-point conversion, but we also had all the momentum in the world too. So even though conventional wisdom says on the road, a lot of times people say, well, go for two, but I think too, that's more of a momentum deal too. And we had obviously a ton of momentum at that point. So I don't know that really could have gone wrong, but we did have a plan going in. Yes.
I know you don't like to compare years, but are there any specific traits from 15, 17, 18 that you can bring to this year's group?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just all in the approach of the team, and games like that, they either rip you apart or they bring you closer together. A lot of times there's no middle ground, and it's one of those deals where everyone, coaches, players, everybody involved's got to be willing to look in the mirror and what do I need to do better for this team for it to play at its elite level, and then everybody's got to take action on that and consistently take action. It's not about just one bye week or just the next game. I mean, it's got to be consistent here through the end, and so you gotta believe in yourself first. Not listen to the outside who's going to tell you how sorry you are. You've got to believe in yourself and your capabilities, which I believe our team does, and then you got to go put it into action and do better. And we're going to do everything we possibly can to get to that.
Is that your message going forward to the team that keep doing what you're doing? Is it that simple?
No, I mean there's a lot of messages from a game like that. I think you got to be ready for the kind of games that you're going to get, especially on the road from good football teams. And I don't, watching our team. I mean, I don't know that we were as mentally prepared to go handle that for a 4-quarter game, and that responsibility is ultimately mine, and they've got to be ready for the kind of fight that it's going to be on the road, and I don't. And then you got to understand the momentum swings of the road. How do you handle it? And that's the first kind of true, real, road atmosphere that we've been in this year, and so. And at times, at the end of the game, we handled it well. At the beginning of the game, we handled it well, certainly in the middle there, and especially the third quarter. I mean, that's the one that, you just look at, and so many missed opportunities where you've got to understand when a team gets momentum, whole crowd behind them, road atmosphere, all that, you got to understand what it takes to dig yourself out, and that's you got to have fight and energy, and we had that. You also got to do your job and do it within the context of what we're doing on all three sides of the ball from a scheme standpoint, and we did not do a good job of that, specifically in the third quarter.
Is it maybe ideal to have this open date right now, where you can kind of pick yourself up a little bit?
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. I guess to us, there's positives of both. Part of you can't wait to get back on the field to play somebody else. And then there's also certainly things we need to do better as a team. There's some guys that be good to get healthy. There's some guys that need some reps here through the week to be ready for this closing stretch. So there's certainly some advantages. So we're just gonna look at it from the positive and have a great week.
Can you quantify, Lincoln, how many times Jalen's carrying on designed run plays and how often he's carrying on plays where he has an option?
I mean, there's a little bit of both. We've done a few runs with him that that's been pretty successful for us this year, and can be pretty tough to defend. And then certainly he's had a couple times, obviously, specifically in the second half the other day when you get behind and you're having to throw it some to conserve some clock, and it and they know it, and you're going to have some opportunities to run and have positive plays there. So I don't know if percentage-wise, all that tough to put a number on it, honestly. But there's a little bit of both, and in reality, they've both been pretty effective.
You've had some time to look at film and talk with Alex, I guess. You said last week, everybody was pretty excited about the defense. And through 7 games, what we saw was just so much different than what happened Saturday. Were you able to get any solid answers about why you think that specific defensive performance happened?
Yeah, to me it's two things. Defense is, you got to get the ball back. One way or another. And if you don't create turnovers and you don't get off the field on long yardage, there's not many good options for defense. And so, we haven't gotten turnovers the last 4 games, but we have done a tremendous job of getting off the field. And so we've, in some ways, offset that by a ton of 3 and outs, by being extremely good in the third downs. And in this game, and not getting the turnovers puts a strain on your defense. You have to play at such a high level when you're not getting turnovers, because it forces you got to go out and execute, multiple plays every single series to stop people. And so, and against us, so many people are aggressive offensively. A lot of times, if you look at the number of times we've gone for it on 4th down versus what people have gone for us, it's a huge disparity. And so a lot of times it's not just 3 downs; you have to defend 4. So obviously there's 2 answers. We have to get turnovers, and that probably the biggest difference in the game. Really the other day was, there was some quality ball played by both sides, both offenses, both defenses. A lot of quality ball. The biggest difference was, Kansas State was able to take advantage of our missteps, and we didn't take advantage of theirs. We drop a ball, they make a play on it. They made a couple of big plays and big moments we didn't make. Quarterback played fantastic, but he hit us in the face with the ball twice. We don't catch it. Those are the big ones. Ball's on the ground, they get it. Ball and the kickoffs on the ground, they get it. Those big game or those big opportunities. And so now for us defensively, we've got to get off the field, or we've got to get turnovers. And obviously, if we can do both, that's when you play at an elite level.
Lincoln, Trajan's not a little kid by any means. I'm sure he's never been drunk football-wise, like what Saturday brought. How is he responding?
Oh, he's fine. Trajan did exactly what we told him to do. That's Trajan's fine. He's doing a good job for us. Played well on special teams, doing some good things offensively. I want to keep getting him more involved. He's a really talented kid, but I'll be honest, we've practiced that onside here for a long time, and I don't know that we've ever executed it as good as we did there in the game. So, he's great.
Lincoln, as far as the replay itself goes, how does it feel when you're in a game and they're not going to review the entire play, things that are happening within the play? I'm sure there's other plays like that. Does that bother you at all about the replay system?
Yeah, it's it is what it is. It's there's a lot of positives of it. I think sometimes new situations come up like this where it shows some areas that the system needs to get better, you know, and especially on game-changing plays at the end where we got a chance to take a look at the whole picture. You know, you hate that we miss those, you know, but that's, again, that's not what got us beat. We would obviously, if we had the ball, we're going to have a chance to win it, but we had plenty of other opportunities for that thing to not come down to a call that could go either way.
Like the NCAA today, in some way, shape, or form, said it's going to allow players to reap some sort of income off their likenesses. I don't know that you've given it any thought, but you have any thoughts about it?
Not much yet. I mean, I think it's certainly not surprising, and I think it can be a positive thing. It will be certainly interesting to see, you know, how it's all put together. I mean, to me, that's the bigger question: is, you know, how do you put it together? How do you maintain, you know, amateur status of players, the integrity of college sports, and so, you know, they've got, obviously, I think, a little bit of time to do that, but it'll be very important to the future of this game, the future of all the athletes, everybody involved with it, to how it's put together, because it's, you know, we're kind of venturing into the unknown there.
Do you think there's any input for coaches on this, or is it a matter for ADs and maybe college presidents?
No, I think there will be some. You know, coaches. You know, a lot of coaches have been a part of it for a long time. But I mean, I'm sure this is going to take everybody. You know, hearing from student athletes, we've taken a lot of steps over the last few years to, you know, for their well-being and to try to continue to make things better. And you know, want to continue to do that. And but I think it's something that we can't have tunnel vision on. We got to make sure and look at all sides, because once you go down this road, you don't go back.
Do you foresee any issues such as disparity in earning in the locker room? My quarterback makes $1,000 a week and I only make $50 a week. You know what I mean?
It'll be interesting, you know, in that way it'll be a little bit more like the pros, you know, in some way. And so it'll be interesting if they try to make it uniform for all players, or if it's, you know, based on your notoriety. I mean, there's a lot of stuff a lot of people got to work through, and I'm glad I don't have to do it.
With the bye week, how important is it for y'all to have a little bit of balance of, you know, not harping on everything you did wrong this whole time, but also kind of showing the players exactly what they did right in that comeback?
Yeah, no, there's definitely some of that from that game, because in reality, most teams down 25 with, you know, a little over, I don't know what it was, 12 and a half minutes, whatever it was. You know, completely shut it down. Most teams aren't capable. So there'll be another game this year where we'll get down and we'll have to come back and win it. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And then so there's definitely fight there. There's these things. It's like I told the team the other day. These things always go. You go win, you know, 60-20. Everybody think you're the greatest team ever, and you go back and watch it, and there's, you know, a ton wrong. It's never as good as you think it is, and the flip side, it's never as bad. So there's still a ton of positives from this team, from these first games, even from the game the other day. And so we've got the things we're doing well, the things we're excited about, we've got to keep going, and we've got to take a hard look at all the things that we need to do better and specifically address them.
Speaking of that, good things, bad things, what was the evaluation of the line? I mean, there's good plays in that, bad plays in that.
You said offensive line? We did some good things. We did. We had a couple of breakdowns and some key moments that hurt us. But you know, and they're a talented front. You know, a couple times we got beat just one-on-one, just guys in the right spot and all that, and give those guys credit. They beat us a few times, but I thought we held in there and did some good things, kind of like the rest of our group, a little bit up and down, but certainly played well enough to give us a chance to win.
Lincoln, one person we really hadn't asked you about was Gabe Erkich.
Yeah.
The game he had, not only the game but all season. Just talk about his role and how close was that kicking competition to start the season?
No, he gave us a chance the other day. He may have been our best player on the whole field. He did a tremendous job. I mean, those were big kicks. They weren't easy kicks, you know, either some distance or in pressure moments, and did a tremendous job. So had a lot of confidence there in the end to be able to kick that and try to make it a one-score game. So he was fantastic. Yes, the competition early was really close. I mean, it was, and I think, you know, both those guys did a good job, and then we also had some desire to, you know, try to be able to spread those jobs out a little bit. But you know, Gabe has just come on, and he's been a little bit of a gamer. You know, he does well in practice, but then, you know, he gets in the game and has a good way about himself, good confidence.
Any update on Caleb at all? Is that process still playing?
As far as I've been told, process is still playing out.
Were some of those field goals situations? Because at some point you realize, well, that third down play didn't work. Kansas State's defensive line, front seven is playing great. Maybe we need to just self-complete.
No, I mean the first one was, I thought, pretty obvious. You know, we'd had a good drive, and then I thought was well within his range. So I didn't think much about the first one. Second one before half, I mean, that one was really obvious. And then the one at the end of the game, I did have a little indecision about the one at the end of the game because we were down there. It was a fourth and very makeable. And obviously, you know, I used the timeout probably about, 5-7 seconds later than I should have. But I did have a little bit of indecision about that one. The other one, I think maybe like a 4th and 3 down there on the left hash. I thought about those two a little bit. I did, you know, trying to gauge how the game was going at that point, and really most of those field goals until the last one, you know, we were either up or it was a close game, one of the two. So I didn't second guess much of them after the fact. No.
Lincoln, any changes to the bye week schedule? Still giving players?
Yeah, we got after it last 2 days. We'll get after it again tomorrow. We'll practice Thursday morning, and then we'll get our guys out here. So we've modified the practices a little bit, just knowing it's not, you know, last time we did this, it was after week 3. This is a little bit later in the season, so modifying a little bit for, you know, where our team's at. But I would say no significant changes.
Lincoln's pass passing through that was intercepted. I'm not sure I've ever seen a receiver or halfback pass where a guy did what he did.
Yeah.
The play he's throwing's not there.
Yeah.
Instead of running, he scrambled and found an open guy. Made a good pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
But would you rather a non-quarterback, if the original play's not there, just take off and run, or do you still give him the freedom to?
Oh yeah, no, he's, you know, it's those deals for us are, you know, there's some trust involved, and you know, he had a couple options on that play, and he made a great decision, you know, and it was, you know, Ramble's played well for us all year. Disappointing because, I mean, obviously for it to end up in the other team's hands, but if you look at the tape, CD's over there on the left side to make a block, and Lee Morris is on the left side to make a block. I mean, there's I would say better 50% chance if he catches it, he probably scores, you know, and then everybody's saying it's the greatest play they've ever seen. So, you know, that's, it was set up well. He made a good read, made a good throw. You know, just you know, one of those that happens.
The open day, how busy are you and the staff going to be?
We'll be busy. Yeah, we'll get out. We'll practice. Part of the reason we practice early Thursday morning is so some of our coaches won't be at that practice. They'll go ahead and get out and get in place because we got to hit these 2 days hard. This calendar on the back end is really different this year. I mean, everything is a week later, and it's, you know, the whole bowl season combined with signing day and all that is going to be interesting. So we've got to get a lot of work done in these next few days, and a lot of guys that we're all excited to get out and see. So we'll be all hands on deck from Thursday on out on the road.
You guys have an impressive November win streak. I know each team's a little different, but what can you say has led to that over the years, and that you hope that you carry into this year?
I think a constant hunger to improve and just the desire to win a championship. You know, we've put ourselves in that position again going into November. I mean, we're right there where we want to be, and you know, we've got some great opportunities coming up against some really good football teams, starting with Iowa State here. That's what November ball is about. You know, do you get tired of doing it? Do you get tired of the workouts and all the things you do all year, tired of the grind, or are you excited to play your very best ball? And that's where we have to be.
What have you been seeing from Spencer Rattler in practice?
Oh, he's done well. He's gotten he's done a few things with us, and then done a nice job on the scout team. That's been you know, good for both him and our defense of getting to face those guys, you know, with a lot of reps each and every day. And then like a lot of our young guys, he's in our developmental lifting, and so he's getting a pretty aggressive training sessions as well. So progressing well, and now just getting better and better.
You guys have had some losses in the past.
What's that?
You guys have had some losses in the past that were kind of shocking, and you want to regroup.
Well, remember this. Every loss at OU is shocking. Remember that. I mean, Bob told me that the other day after, and he's right. I mean, rarely do we ever play a game that we're not favored, and rarely, you know, do we ever play a game that, that everybody in the world doesn't expect us to win. So, you know, that's they're all shocking. Trust me.
That is true.
Yeah.
But this is the one that I think is the one I can remember where you just decided the players aren't going to be available to media. Is that what made this one different this week, or this loss a little different than the past ones?
Just the vibe of this team a little bit. Not in a negative way at all. Just I think in each and every one of these, you try to decide, what's going to be best for the team in this moment. And this team's had a lot of attention and a lot of new things coming at them. And I felt like just in a few different ways, some with the practice schedule, some with the media schedule, all that we just needed a week to catch our breath.
On Spencer, does his natural ability, he's got obviously athletic and big arm, does he make the defense better as well? Not just as a scout team quarterback, but I mean, he's one of the more athletic quarterbacks they're going to see all year.
He's done a good job for him. I mean, he can make some good throws, tight windows. He's competitive. He's done a good job leading that group there. So he's it helps to have a really good scout team quarterback. We've had a few of them around here over the years that have made us better, and he's certainly done a really good job.
And does that help him grow rather than just kind of sitting holding the clipboard?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, live reps, live rush coming at you, coverage by good DBs, tight coverage, competitive moments. Our defensive practices are extremely competitive right now. And every one of those that you can get for those guys. I mean, 'cause that rush doesn't feel like the one in high school. And those DBs cover a little bit different than they did in high school. So it was great for Tanner last year. It was great for Kyler a few years ago. It was great for Baker a few years ago. I mean, it makes a world of difference for those guys.
I know you guys always, because of the running back, the number of carries for the running backs in the offense. Moving forward, you hope to be able to get that balance back in your offense going forward.
Yeah, just you hope that you can end up with a few more plays to get it done, and then obviously don't want to be in situations there at the end where you got to play catch up. We've got some really good backs, and we want to continue to get involved. We've got several players that we want to continue to get more involved, but when you're popping off 50 plays a game, and you've got a quarterback that's the kind of runner that we have right now. There's the carries are going to take a little bit of a hit. I mean, it's just a matter of numbers.
The team's trying to control the tempo against you. Are you going to have to force tempo?
No, not necessarily. I mean, that's like a lot of these other games when we get off the field defensively and we don't have 3 and outs offensively, it's our advantage. And so we've got to we can't force how teams are going to play against us. We've got to go play our game.
You always say it doesn't matter what time you play, you just go and play. But as far as just the logistics, recruiting, all that stuff, how nice is it to get a night game time?
Yeah, no, we're excited about it. I mean, we are. I would imagine our fan base is pretty excited about it too. So it's great for recruiting. Good just to change it up a little bit. And we're looking forward to playing under the lights. There's still never anything like that. So I would imagine Norman, Oklahoma, next Saturday at 7 o'clock is going to be rocking. We can't wait.
Lincoln, we're at 4 of your players named the national semifinalists, Jalen and CD for the Maxwell and Neville, and Kenneth Miller for the Dick Martin. Would you like to talk about their performance and recognition?
Yeah, they've done a good job. Those guys have all been good leaders for us and good players that have done things the right way. And so it's fun to see kids that do things the right way, get some honors. And, when your team does well, like kind of the same approach we've always had with the individual awards here. When your team does well, then some guys are going to get individual recognition, and that's nice. And hopefully our team can keep doing well, and then more nice things will come for our guys.
On the trick play with Nick Basquin and the flea flicker, did you guys know right when he fell that was going to end up going as far as it did?
No, right when what?
Right, he fell and purposely fell and missed.
Yeah.
Is that when you kind of knew that play was going to break off?
I mean, we thought it had a chance. But there was a lot of things that had to go well to make it happen. We did a good job on the protection end and exchange end, and there was a decent degree of difficulty with that one, but they did a good job with it.
Did you have to update on the grant?
Yeah, I think I said, just kind of day to day. We're going to get through this week and then reevaluate him.
How is Caleb Kelly progressing? Is there a chance that he gets to see the field?
He's doing great. Yeah, no, he's close. He's fully clear, doing some nice things. We're progressing him up. being fully cleared and then being ready to play are two different things. So he's been doing a lot of things with us here for the last few weeks and is getting better quickly.
Can you get him away from the media?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I told him that'll be the one rule when he's back on the field. Then he's got to. You can't play both sides of that.